Weathertime with Marlonology, brought to you by Marlon Corp, leading the world to a new, better generation. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending where you are in the world. This is amateur meteorologist Mark Cortez here, and instead of forecasting 32 international cities for the weekend, I'm going to be talking about, personally, my top 5 favorite weather phenomena. Okay, so anyway, here it is. The top 5, I got 1. Tropical storms. 2. Midwest/plains tornadoes. 3. Midwest spring floods. 4. Nationwide winter storm. And 5. Fall fronts. First slide. Now, first one for tropical storms. I kind of find, very interesting, to forecast, tropical weather because, of course, it's like year-round, tropical weather, dry season, wet season, instead of hot and cold weather in the tropics, as we all know, but, in the tropics, every, 6 months, in a year, there's always hurricane season, and of course, it's for us meteorologists to forecast and predict and indicate whether if hurricanes do make landfall at a particular location. So, yeah, so I really find that interesting, and as you can see, near Miami, it's not really, real forecasting, it's just something interesting that I like to do, look at, one of those, lines, those gray lines that would the gray dotted lines, to indicate, there is, a developing invest, which can indicate, a possible circulation, and if it's closed, that means it's possible that, a tropical depression or a tropical storm could form. Then we get number 2, which is the tornadoes, and as you can see, located somewhere around Texas and Oklahoma. Notice that the part with the between the cold front and the warm front, the red and blue lines. Yeah, that right there shouldn't have happened while I was editing this. The reason why it had to happen is because, I was trying to, show the dry line, but, everything went wrong. So, just assume that, what's between the cold front and the warm front, it's a dry front to indicate, tornadoes are forming, which is really interesting because, knowing that dry lines can be an indication in which it does separate warm air, moist air, and dry air. Now I can understand that, fully how tornadoes can form in long term and short term. Third is the annual spring floods, from upstreams like the Rockies, Canada, and even the upper and northern Appalachians. All that melted snow goes downstream. Rivers such as the Mississippi, the Ohio, the Missouri, Red Rivers, flow downstream towards New Orleans and into the Gulf of Mexico. And before reaching New Orleans, well, there's usually floods whenever there's a lot of snow and a lot of melting and even a lot of rain. That is really something to look into. Now here's the 4th one. Okay, winter storms, all over the country. Lows start off in the southwest, knowing that you get a low pressure, California storms, which can push low pressures to the east, which the rest of the country is pretty much cold, and all the moisture is in, collecting all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and cold air from Canada and the Rockies, which means that you get winter storms. unlike one of those low pressure systems that form in Alaska. Those are just clipper storms. Those are just clipper storms that only do minor damage. Only it can only like put like some negative impact to, like in the northern tier of the country and the Great Lakes, but like the low, or like even create like effect snows, but like low pressures form in the southwest like are nationwide snowstorms. Like they can impact like stretching as far as like Arizona all the way to New England, and of course, like the 40-70 benchmark, the 40 north 70 west benchmark, can totally make a difference whether if New England's going to get a lot of snow or not. And finally, here, my personal favorite, just the typical cold front. Like, I know it's just like a cold front and all and everything, but here's the thing. Like, whenever I see like temperatures in the 70s and 80s, like, one day, and then one part of the day, and then another part of the day, a cold front moves in, brings in like severe storms along with it, which can indicate that behind it is a very cold air coming in, which not only brings in the cold air, but also symbolizes that fall, the true fall temperatures have arrived, and that it's gonna stay there, and it's gonna get colder until winter. So that is it for Weathertime. I hope you enjoy this episode. So I'll see you in the next episode, episode 57 with my American weather forecast. And don't forget to watch FIFA 15 with marlonseblon. And be sure to give it a like, share, subscribe, like, comment, all that. Especially Marlonology and my primary channel, Seblon Corpo 7, and this channel. So, in the meantime, goodbye everyone. Love you all, and I'll see you next time.